finally I can stream from the balcony, at least today, because I think tomorrow is going to be a lot of rain and the darkness in that sense. And by the way, it's a very bright sun, so I might be having to resort to the use of parasol in any moment. Anyway, just so now I'm going to be, as I'm creating a series with this, and I'm so glad that I happen to be actually live streaming from HAPS TV as well on this particular project, which found me halfway through. So now I want to work on the variation number 23. It's the Goldberg variation, which I'm embedding onto the paintings. Goldberg variation is written by Bach. And oh, great! This is also multi-streaming on YouTube and Periscope as well. So as far as Periscope is alive, and so now I'm just going to be tackling upon the 23, which to my mind is about the innocence of youth. And I just quickly now recorded on the other phone. It's full of mistakes and all sorts. Still, you great to see you. Thanks for joining me. Still, you it's Rick, right? Nemanja, hello, welcome, Belgrade. Great to see you. Thanks for joining. Is it also sunny and wonderful? I think it might be cold. Actually, Nemanja and I are joining, sharing the same impediment when it comes. Thanks for the Got Talent Award. Appreciate it. We are sharing the same time zone and the same language, the same so many things that sometimes people want to make it so different. But anyway, that's politics. We're not going into that. We are going to be working now on valorization, as Nemanja and I oftentimes laugh about, of the Goldberg variation number 23. I need to get into the state of mind of the innocent of youth. And so let's see what will come out of that. Maybe I have to think about the Damien, welcome. Thanks you. Oh, you bought me a coffee award. Appreciate it. Cold and icy, right? Where are you, Rick? Hold on a second. Maybe I haven't seen Rick. So where is everybody tuning in? Please share in also your thoughts. Damien, how are you? And everything else that's going on in your world. So for me, live stream. Actually, by the way, another thing as well. I just published. Yeah, it was this morning. Actually, for me, I don't know what's that for everybody else that's watching right now. Still, thank you, Rick, also for the high award. Appreciate it. And so today I was writing. Sorry, I wrote it the other day, but then there was so many other things going on as I'm doing the selection for this online exhibition that's upcoming. And then I finally today I got the time to publish. Great, thank you. So Mark, welcome to Dorchester. Wonderful to see you. Thanks for joining. And so I was very happy to share a bit of some more insights. I've already shared one, which was kind of a global situation, globally how I'm seeing, especially in relation to the live streaming. And then today I shared another part, which is more towards the future, which is more this, because I feel like we are in two paradigms. The one is towards the TV, and another one is towards this participatory media, and that's what we are experiencing through the power of internet and the power of the app like this. And so that's what I've been writing about. It's very long. It's published on Medium. I've also submitted it to the publication, so I don't know if they'll accept it and put it. They've accepted the previous one, and because I'm writer for a few of them. So anyway, so that's for the general update. Also in the following days, I also want to use particularly HAPS, and then I wanted to be documented. I'm probably going to be featuring a lot of the artists that have been submitting for this online exhibition, because I was incredibly inspired with some of the work. Like, it was just amazing. I think it's going to have an impact on what I'm doing, and really enjoyed it as well. So I think I really need to spend more time curating. This is something that that one can grow with, and possibly I'll still find a way how to open source the process. I couldn't really open source the process of the selection, because I think that's a little bit intrusive without the permission of all the other artists. But I think with the permission, I'm sure that they shouldn't be saying no to something like just being kind of promoted, being shared about. And then also it's such an enjoyment to get into the mind of other person, because I think through art is the one of the most fundamental when it comes to getting into the essence. So anyway, without further ado, let's get my paint. I have a huge amount of, let's get the brushes, the tools, and there Ruben, welcome, thanks for joining. So which one of the three should be the master of this whiteness behind me? I have actually 3 canvases, but I'm just going to be using one. Maybe I'll do 2. You know, you never know, because I do the action painting. It's a capturing of the mind in a very strange. So the youthfulness. I think I'm just going to get a bit of the work on the palette. In the Montenegro, I don't think it's going at all. It's very rudimentary. It's it's very sad. That's a sad thing about actually anything that comes down to meritocracy. It's a sad story when it comes to the Balkans, I think, in general. Wow, we've gone very dark in here. The action, exactly. So I need to get the parasol. As soon as I got the parasol and a lot of pieces that fell off, the sun has disappeared. So it was not needed. Capricious, stable situation. Right. Yeah, it's not a situation at all. Stable in terms of the non-action. Non-action, Wu Wei, that's the Taoism for you. Wu Wei, let the things resolve on its own, right? Not interfere, and therefore not, in my view or understanding of it, not influence the karmic imprint, right? Because maybe it's all about karma. Okay, so now it's okay for me. I can actually see the comments. Excellent. So now let's work on this. So let's draw out the innocence. So and also being on the balcony is just amazing. I don't know if you can see both. Probably yes, I think so. Yes, exactly. So let's see. I'm going to be capturing a little bit of the stream of my consciousness. All the craziness, the crazier the better. And I definitely need more blue. I feel blue today. It's all about blueness. Blueness and this kind of like earthly colors. Wow, I have so many. I need to get rid of a lot of these colors. That's white, of course. And the yellow I need to buy. Okay, perfect. Excellent. So let's start. So, and also I'm going to share a bit of the sound of how this painting sounds like. Because I'm doing is it still recording? No, it isn't. That's good, because this was just before I started. It's going to be full of mistakes, especially the second part of the variation number 23 has been jinxed. Yeah, so. Oh, I actually have a vision. Jay, welcome. Thank you so much. Jay. Sorry, I'm just going to close this for a moment. Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. Great to see you, Jay. Um, and from Branson, excellent. Yeah, sorry about that. I have no idea what was going on. Actually, for a week, I wasn't really streaming that much. And so I was out of the loop as to the technicalities of what might have been happening on the apps. Was it a week? About maybe 5 days. I just didn't have the time. There was so much going on in my life in the offline world, and I would love to somehow join the offline and online world this size video. That's because I'm live streaming from Habs. As you know, Periscope is dying. So if you want to continue tuning in, this is kind of a reminder that beta migrates. So this is also multi-streaming to YouTube if you don't have the like the wish to install the Habs. But I would warmly recommend. Habs is an excellent app so far. I've been very happy with it. And it's a very nice experience. Yes, yes. So I was writing an article. I was doing the selection for the painters for the upcoming online exhibition. Out of 150, I still haven't finished. I managed to select down to 30, so I still have to select down further. And then I'm going to be there'll be a lot of work, and also the because I'm curating it, so I have to do all the curator statements and all of the other writing that will be. I'll be enjoying it, and I was thoroughly enjoying as well the whole process. And I will also try to somehow open source. So, and that's another thing as well. I would really love to somehow open source more of all of this busyness. But then, like, I don't think like there are difficulties because sometimes maybe some people just don't want to be. Because if it involves other people, that's where we don't have um, all of the like. That's where we don't actually have the possibility to open source unless we have a full permission, because it's still not mainstream. But I'm really hoping that eventually it will become the mainstream thing, that the more people will embrace the openness. Head is spinning. Yeah, thanks. Well, sometimes I feel nausea with all of the things that I have to do during the day, and my to-do list is so crazy. So much procrastination because I just physically can't. But then also it's incredibly satisfying working on a lot of things. It's a bit of brightness here. Draw a businessman in the basement. Oh my God, the passport. Well, hopefully let's hope that's in the past. It's based because of he's satisfied with the bright future. That's about, oh my God, never mind. That's so funny. Prisoners of Ernest Charm. Thank you. Um, Billy, yes, well, I'm hopeful that that charm is about the mind primarily. So, but thank you so much for the kindness. And thank you, Donnie, for the subscription. About what Nemanja said, well, that's the dark past of the bay, of the place that I'm right now living at. As many of you probably know, there was a lot of troubling moment, and I'm very happy that maybe that's only in the past. Really, I'm really hopeful, because there is no point for such a beautiful country as this one, and such a historically important place, which was at the crossroad between the civilization, at the line between the famous glorious Byzantine Empire and the Western world, and uh, and so we have the insight into both the East and the West from this place, and there is no reason why it shouldn't progress. So what I'm going to be doing now is very, very simple line, because I want to describe in here kind of like an innocence. So what I'm going to be doing is really, really just a rudimentary movement into different direction. Okay, now that one I really messed up in here. I really, really messed up, but okay. Why? I've noticed also whenever I'm doing the balcony stream, the balcony painting, there is so much more experience is put into it. Can you actually see everything? Because for me, it's very difficult on the super bright sun to see. Okay, probably, I think yes, right? Yeah, I literally just see the comments right now because it's super bright. Swiss sun. And I'm also reading this interesting book about the mysterious ways of the ancient belief system, and they have been talking a lot about the sun as a supreme energy. There is the whole system of hierarchies with which the world is interpreted. So I'm going to read the comments with a slight delay, because now I just want to do a little bit of this. I'm really, really concerned about, yeah. Just giving it a structure a little bit. As you can see, there are kind of two lines that are going up. There is a lot of flame in my work, so abstract. And they could be turned over in the art, because artists which can redeem their sins by making monumental work. It doesn't work like that, Nemanja. With oh my God. And that's great storm of Jupiter. For the hundreds of Jupiters that now draws from the Roman times, you know that expression, hundreds to Jupiters. It's very bright in here. That's what Nemanja said. Yeah, so it doesn't really work like that. You don't buy yourself out of the sins. The sins cannot be bought, and the best things in life cannot be bought either. They are for free. That's just how I think, and maybe to my peril. That's what I think is how this works. There's a bit of struggling, you see. It's not easy to be innocent. But I think in terms of colors, I'm doing the right thing. In terms of color, I'm doing kind of like a spine. I've noticed a lot of spine, and I'm sure that that's connected to my reading of the ways of the Taoism. That has been a source of great inspiration lately. Wow, this blue is very beautiful. So let's just now work on this. Okay, perfect. So it actually does have some structure in here. And then so for this as well. You know, all of these expectations, I feel like when we are young, in the real usefulness, we have so many expectations. And then that's usually followed by a lot of disappointments, in many cases. And that's followed with the crisis of identity and any other that might happen. So I'm trying to avoid all of that. Think about the piece that you heard in a rudimentary way just now. going to do a bit of lines over there. Wow, perfect. Green glue over the brownishness is doing wonders for this. Oh, more. What's going on? I just now pressed something. Hold on, cancel. Okay. Jorge, hello. Lima, Peru. Wonderful to see you. Montreal, Fides, hello. From New York, Jane. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining. Chikopi, Damien. You're there, Damien. Of course, yes, I remember. Sunny bowls of bay washed with the fresh air combined with the inspires me to make great sculpture. Like you answered me them all across my in the. I know exactly, Nemanja, and I think did it fell one of the sculpture in Budva. Did it fell? Do you know that it was washed? Was it that? Matthew, thanks for joining. Welcome. It fell into the sea. I think but they managed to retrieve it. I'm sure it will be back. Is that the piece that you told me that that your relative actually did? Am I correct in that, or was it the other one? Because yes, the genetics always work. Okay, so just it's kind of on a bright side. I think I will probably have to. What I'm doing now, I'm just making this piece a little bit more inclusive of all of the colors. But at the same time, I actually want to keep it very, very simple. I don't want to so needs a little bit of this shade. Your uncle, yes, on that. And the others, right, of course, yes. The 1 year anniversary at the start of the oh, wow. Matthew, right, 1 year. Yeah, what day is today? Is it already 1 year? Wow. Wow. It's actually, it's a religious day in here. Yeah, that's actually, that your uncle made is very, very inspiring, that piece. The lady is there like a ballerina there. And it's very, very interesting. Like, and also I have a great admiration of the sculptors of those times. Let me just now adjust a little so that my phone doesn't burn. Where is it? Okay. So I need to figure out the way. Oh, this. Yeah, I think, did I manage to get this in the shade? I think I may have, right? Perfect, at least partially. How does this work? Science is not my stronger point. Okay, it's kind of in the shade. Yes, now I think so. Perfect, okay. The only thing is that I don't have much space to work on. That's fine. So with art, it's all about the meaning. Like every line should ideally have a full meaning without too much of the theoretization. It could be any type of expression, but as long as it does have the meaning and that it does have some kind of like a the connection to the depths that are otherwise unexplainable. That's how you create the revolutionary art, by connecting to the depths, and then identifying something that not that many people see, or else just expressing something that is the new frontier. And of course, like, it's very, very difficult to verbalize the artistic. Let's just get in here a bit of this. Wow, excellent. And just getting here a very nice interaction. Keys, hi. Slikam. Na snimanju sam.
Ali dobro, ti skočila odmah na englesku.
A snimam I dalje. Sve je ovo uživo.
A izvini.
Hoćete? Ništa, ništa. So we're working on this. The neighbor was just on there. Hoćete gore? Hoćete gore? Ajde, vidimo se posle. Nemojte sad, nemojte posle. Doću ja kad završim. And the other, okay, so let's see how far we have from here. Okay, good. A little bit more of this brightness. Wow, this is excellent actually. Just feel that if I overdo with the red, but I think that this kind of a bright, this is a poppy flower kind of red, which is interesting. Poppy is the flower that's associated to the dream state, and the color is such a bright red. It's beyond the physicality, the fleshness of the body. Okay, perfect. Now you just have to be very, very careful that this is not too much of this is not too much into the decoration. Because that's what we have to be afraid of. The moment when the intention goes into the decorative, that's where it can't, it's losing the depth. Okay, it's kind of oriental. It has some kind of like I think I'm going to be keeping it simple. Can you see it? So don't know if I keep it more. Do I work on this more, or maybe I hear it a little bit more as well now? Maybe that's what I have to do. Messing up with mistakes there, but later I might be taking my cats out for a walk. So I don't know, I might be taking you guys with me. It's a flux, really, just like those variations. Okay. There is the sound of an eagle somewhere in the distance. So that's it. Now for that piece, can you actually see it? I think it's in the distance there. Yes, okay. It's good. Now the next one, I actually want to continue. I just had the vision in connection to the to the piece number 24, because I want to progress with this. And this one is about the society, patriotism. Damien, thanks for another buying me coffee award. Appreciate it. So many coffees, Damien. Thank you. And in general for the support in here. Really. Me says hello, hello. So everyone that's on Periscope, please, thank you. Please also migrate on time on either Hubs or YouTube or some other piece. So now this one is the number 24. I want to share with the world a little bit of the vision that I have with this, which is about kind of like a societal, a bit of a sense of patriotism. And then also maybe I shouldn't be going into it because it's a little bit political, but when I say something political, I'm really meaning more about the place where I am, because I'm entitled to say that, rather than the universally some other places, because I just simply don't know. I'm not reading politics. However, so this one, into my mind, is about this sense of the alliance with the country that one person lives in. So I'm going to be doing a very strong, I think, lines. That this one will probably be the most, maybe even simplistic. I don't know. We will see how it develops. I just had a little bit of a vision. That's the one I haven't recorded yet in terms of the sound, but I played, and I have to work a lot on it. So it's going to be very much conceptual, I think. I'm going to be making a bit more balance in the upper part compared to the lower part. So this is really going to be so somehow red always comes up as this impulse to protect the community. Oh, this is such a completely different to what I've been doing before. Something very strange is going on right now. So now let's work on it. I think this and a little bit of the turquoise green. It's definitely that. And this shade of the really intense green. Corey, thanks for joining. And thanks for the high five award. Wow, today I feel like, the most supported live streamer. Everybody wants me to benefit from this, actually, even in the physical sense. But I always say that the best things are actually for free. And that's why, this sense of truly helping others is really more about, sharing. Damien, thanks. Thank you so much. Wow, award. So yes, let's just get on a little bit on this. So what I'm doing here, I'm kind of illustrating different forces of thinking. When we are building something, when we are protecting something, we always have this doubt. Should it happen the way it is? And I'm kind of creating the passion with the redness and the doubt with the greenness. And maybe I'm a little bit inspired with the technique that Gerhard Richter is doing, which is this kind of like he likes to just play with the way paint will behave underneath the pressure that goes usually left and right. In my case, it's more about up and down, because I think that our connection is to the supernatural, to the metaphysical, is more vertical than horizontal, but everybody sees the world in a different way. So, you know, it's just a matter of gravity, and there is not vertical. In fact, if we are thinking about the physics, because it all depends on the gravity. It all depends on how the planet is behaving. So yeah, now I really need to do this another line of the green. So this is a very interesting, I think I'm literally changing my style just now in these two pieces. This is very, very unusual, but I'm trying to follow the line of thought, the subconscious thought. Wow, I just painted all over myself. Okay, doesn't matter. Let's just cover this with this. The worst thing is today I've discovered that I have stains from I think a few years ago when I was also live streaming and sharing here on I think it was more on Periscope. Yes, it was actually on Periscope. I only streamed a little bit on Twitch a few times, and then I realized, you know, it's really too much youth centric, and I have no idea about the games, and it does just wants the games to happen. It's all about the direction. Just creating here. Yeah. Suddenly it becomes a spine. It's interesting when I do the juxtaposition, different structures, it becomes a spine. One moment. Wow. So maybe I'm destroying it this way. I want to just add some blueness now to the story. Thank you, Damien. Okay. So let's get on with the. What can we do here now? In the palette, unlike most of the times. Okay, I want to get out this beautiful. This is one of my favorite greens. I don't know if you can see this, how visible it is. Very difficult to squeeze out a tiny bit, but not impossible. And anything that's not impossible should be done. I like this enthusiasm that a lot of the times the tech company, the tech people, the startup people, thank you, have when it comes to this enthusiasm to what's possible. All of the structures. Yeah, this is it. I think that I'm actually getting this kind of a spiritual element of this. Yeah, I also want to be mindful of the sun because later I want to take my cats for a walk because the male has returned from the adventures and is sleeping lazily underneath. Suddenly it became the stars. But I think the stars in this conception of the piece is really the people that the individuals that changed the course of history, because it was always the individual, but it was the collective that gave the fuel to the individual. That's an interesting thing. If we look at throughout the history of the humanity, it's always the individual that gives the impulse, and then the collective is absolutely needed to validate it. So I don't know what I've done with it, but I kind of like it. I think it's the number 25. You can see, is it too dark now? Finally, actually, I can see. Do you see? Both are a little bit more simple than what I wanted. Okay, now the sun is really not very generous, so it's possible that I have to be finishing this stream. And although, should I be working more on it? I actually don't think that I should be working more on it. I think that's it for this one and for the other one. And also has this, but if I work more on it, it's going to lose its usefulness. Somehow this one has a pattern of the this one actually has a pattern. Can you believe it? I actually created a pattern, but you can't see it from the other side. I think I have to do this. Actually has the very, very strange pattern. But it does have the meaning, it does have the intention, so I think I'm just going to leave it that way. Because, you know, when it comes to the collective, and thank you so much, Damien. So, okay, so that's it. I think for now, very, very cold suddenly. We are in the mountainous sea region. It's full of extremes, full of the joining together, both the highest and the lowest. And also everything else in between. So I want to now finish. Maybe I will take my cats for a walk. Maybe, I don't know if I find the other one, because I want to spend some time in nature, and maybe I'll live stream that. So thank you so much again. Thanks, Damien, for the amazing support, and also for everybody else for tuning in and for chats and for thinking together, being together, experiencing in togetherness, because I think that's what internet is about, and live stream is even more so. So I'll see you next time. Have a great morning, afternoon, evening, and keep safe, definitely. Bye.